Hello, Tiffany Arielle here, and we are back with another video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this makeup look right here, featuring these CoverGirl products that I just got for free from Influencer. And while I do that, I'm also just going to be, chatting about gender roles and the many thoughts that I have on that. So stay tuned. Okay, so I have this voxbox from CoverGirl. Ignore my hair, we'll get to that later. So in this box, I got this eyeshadow palette, which these colors are really pretty. There's like purples, teals, a bit of glitter, So I'm kind of really excited to use this. And then I also got this lipstick, which is a little bit dark for summer, but we'll try it. We'll see how this goes. So what does it say? It says, brighten up your summer with these bold, vibrant colors, which I guess. It's the True Naked eyeshadow palette you love, now available in an upgraded formula. This palette features 8 highly pigmented, universally flattering shades that are meant to be worn alone or blended together to create your own flawless eye look. Then it says to get a long-lasting matte finish with our velvety and comfortable Exhibitionist Ultra Matte Lipstick. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of this. So in addition to trying out these products from CoverGirl, I'm also just going to be, of course, doing my full face. And then I'm going to be talking today about gender roles and my possibly unpopular opinion that they should not exist. But I'll get into that in more detail later. So before you get in a pinch, because I'm sure somebody is going to hear that and be like, men and women are not the same, and this and that, and this and that. Just keep watching and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do my eyes first because that seems to be the thing to do nowadays, even though I've never really done that before. But when I say eyes, I really mean my brows first because I always do that first. So we'll start with primer. Now, because I am going to be talking in this video, I'm probably not going to really be narrating everything that I'm doing, with the exception of the new products that I've used. I've done Get Ready With Me's before, so you guys already pretty much know my process. I also will have all the products listed down below if you just want to know, like, what primer did I use, what foundation did I use. So I'm not going to, talk through all of that, just in the interest of sticking to the actual topic. So yeah, basically, the way that I feel about gender roles is I feel like too many people have really attached themselves to these roles, and it's like, oh, men are supposed to do this, women are supposed to do this, you're not a real man if you don't do this, and all of that kind of stuff. And I just don't like any of that. I feel like, yes, there are certain differences between men and women. And yes, there are certain traits that are more common in men, and there are certain traits that are more common in women, and all of those things are true. But at the same time, not every man is the same, and not every woman is the same. And not only that, but a lot of these roles were created at a time where women either didn't work, or if they worked, they had, much lower paying jobs and, things of that nature. And in this day and time that we're in, that's not really the case anymore in a lot of cases. A lot of women are well educated. A lot of women are very successful financially. We have our own money. We have our own jobs. A lot of us make the same or sometimes more than what men make. And this eyebrow looks horrible. And so it's just to sit here and be like, for example, oh, the man is supposed to pay the bills doesn't necessarily make sense in a scenario where the woman is making just as much or more than what he's making. It just doesn't make sense. So to me, I just feel like when we talk about gender roles, I think that a lot of people cling to these because they don't actually really know what they want or what they value in a partner. So they need some sort of default list to identify with, and they just need to be like, oh, well, let me do this because this is what they told me that women are supposed to do, or oh, let me find a man who does this because this is what they told me that men are supposed to do, not necessarily because that's what they actually want or because that's how they actually are. And so to me, I just feel like people need to really spend a lot more time just thinking about, what do you actually want? Like, who are you as a person? Like, do you want to be a stay-at-home wife if you're a woman? Do you want to go out and go to work? Do you want to go, 50-50 on the bills? Do you want to, like, what do you want, And not only that, I just feel like a lot of these things, literally, it's not even feasible. So imagine you're in a situation where it's like you actually have two women in a relationship or two men in a relationship. And if you're so caught up on gender roles, then what do you do? Because at that point, you don't have a man and a woman, right? You have two men, you have two women, or, maybe a non-binary person. Like, what are you going to do in that scenario? So, I don't know. I just feel like people really need to think a lot more about that. And I see a lot of scenarios. I'm probably going to talk more about money here because I feel like that's probably the most controversial one from my perspective. And a lot of women are now having this like resurgence. I think, okay, let me rewind. A lot of people like to blame feminism for all types of things. And I feel like people don't really understand what feminism is. And they think that feminism means that, oh, women and men are exactly the same and we have no differences. And maybe some people have decided it means that, but I don't really think that's actually what it means. Okay, so I've got the palette open. I'm about to put on this kind of teal aqua dress, but I'm really liking these purple colors. So I think I might experiment a bit today. Take a pause from gender roles for now. So let me try this this teal color here, and I'm gonna kind of put that on the outer. Oh yes. Okay, this is showing up really well, which I'm really happy about, because I would have been very concerned if this would have just not shown up. Okay, I've never done this type of eye look before, so if this comes out horribly, like, don't judge me. But you can see that I'm putting this kind of on the outer half of my eye. And let me do the other one. But this is very pigmented, so that's really, really good. Now, I did prime though, so if you're trying to do this on a bare eyelid, it might not be as pigmented. This is not a straight line. Whatever. Okay. I think I'm gonna do purple too. So let me do this purple here, and I'm gonna put this on the inside, because why the hell not? Oh my god, this is so pretty. I've never done like a two-toned eye look before, but I just wanted to use all the colors. I actually really like this. This is very much an experiment. Okay, so what we're looking like so far. We got the like aqua color, and then we have the purple color. Both of them are showing up really well. What am I gonna do now? I feel like I need to do something to my crease. I see there's this black color there. I've never really used like black eyeshadow, so I don't know how this is gonna go. I may have to wipe this off. But I just put the tiniest dab of black on this brush, and I'm just gonna kind of try to blend that into the crease and kind of make it a little bit smoky maybe. Okay, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not horrible. I feel like I need lessons or something. It's not bad. Okay, well, we'll stick to this. Okay. I'm gonna do the bottom line, and I'm also gonna put some more purple. I'm gonna use this lighter purple in my inner corner. That is not the right brush. This is the one I wanted. It doesn't really show up, actually. It just looks... Okay, let me try the white. I mean, this like shimmery white. Let's try that instead. Okay, yeah, this is better. I like this better. Actually, both of them. This is pretty. I actually like this a lot. It's very sheer. This white is not super pigmented, but I kind of like it because I already put the purple there. And so it's just making it look almost like snow or like fairy dust. Can you see? Yeah. That's pretty. Okay, let me do the bottom. What am I going to do on the bottom? I'll do the shimmery like teal on the bottom just because. Why not? Just use as many colors as possible. And I'll put some on this on my lash line as well. It's not doing anything. There we go. Okay. That's cute. I like it. Let me put some more purple on the inner lash line because it's not really... I might have to redo this again since I didn't do my foundation yet. I never really do this whole eyes first thing, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do. I don't want it to do too much. Okay, so now back to the topic at hand while I do the rest of my face. So basically what I was saying is I feel like people give feminism a bad name because they're like, oh, feminists are saying that women and men are the same and there's no differences and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's not really what it means. Like, to me, equality does not mean that we are literally the same because at the end of the day, like, there are certain biological facts. Like, we all know that men are typically physically stronger than women. Like, we all know that. But at the same time, there are some women who are very strong and there are some men who are not strong. So just because men are generally physically stronger than women does not mean that every man is stronger than every woman. And in addition to that, in this day and age, we have, machinery and, things of that nature. And so in a lot of scenarios, raw physical strength is not as important as it used to be. And so to me, I think, one, we need to recognize that just because there are generalizations about men and women, that doesn't apply to every single individual scenario. Because there are situations where there are women who don't want to follow the traditional woman role. There are men who may want to be, stay-at-home dads, and that's okay. Me personally, I would not want that type of man, but if that's what he wants, and his wife or girlfriend or live-in partner or whoever is okay with that, then why shouldn't they do that? That's nobody's business but theirs. But also, it's like what I was saying about feminism is like feminism just means that we provide equal value to society. It does not mean that we are literally the same. And I think that a lot of cases, women didn't have rights. Like there were periods of times where we couldn't vote. There were periods of times where we, couldn't have bank accounts. We couldn't do X, Y, and Z without our husband's permission. Even now, women can want to get their tubes tied, and doctors are being told, oh, you can't get your tubes tied because you haven't had enough kids yet, or your husband might not agree, or whatever, right? That is what feminism is for. Feminism is for, it's for that. And so it's like we're in this situation where it's like we think that we're the same, but we're not really the same. It's about having choices. It's about having flexibility. It's about having the option to do what we want to do, instead of you're a woman so you have to do this. You're a man so you have to do this. Or you're a woman so you can't do this, right? That's what feminism is about. And I brought this up because it's like, I feel like the whole notion of gender roles is really like kind of related, because that is part of the feminist movement, is to get to a point where it's not, oh, you're the woman so you have to stay at home and raise children. Oh, you're the man so you have to go out and pay all the bills and blah, blah, blah. Like, if that's not what works for you, then that's fine. But instead, what we're having is a lot of people kind of trying to re-embrace it. Because I think some women are like, you know what, I actually don't want to work. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you want to stay at home and raise your kids, like, feminism is not, oh, you must go out and work. It's not that. But at the same time, if another woman wants to do that, she shouldn't be shamed for that. If a man wants to stay at home and raise his kids, he shouldn't be shamed for that. And so I feel like a lot of people just really need to think, like, what is actually important to you? What's important to you? And then operate based off of that. And I feel like this might seem like it's not that big of a deal, but I think that when we sit here and we attach all this value to men in terms of finances, which is historically what's happened, you have this whole, oh, men are supposed to be providers and this and that. And it's like, okay, that's fine if that's what you want. But number one, I feel like providing is not just money. Providing is a lot more than money. And when you are attaching gender roles, you're like, oh, men are supposed to provide money. Women are supposed to provide nurturing and cooking and child rearing and this and that and this and that. But it's like, okay, but why can't the woman also provide money? Why can't the man also provide nurturing and child rearing? Like, why does it have to be the man is providing money and the woman is providing those other quote unquote woman things? Because I feel like what's happening is, with a lot of women being more successful, a lot of the men are feeling like, oh, she doesn't need my money. And they're feeling like they don't have anything else to add because they've always been taught, oh, I'm the man, I'm supposed to provide money. I'll be right back. I gotta wet my beauty blender. All right, I'm back. But basically, I feel like this notion of gender roles is causing some people, both men and women, to feel, I guess, less secure in themselves and in what they add to society and what they add to a relationship, because they feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this specific thing, but that's not what I want to do. Or even if that's what they want to do, they feel like it's not valued because they're like, oh, well, the woman also has money. So now what good am I? What good am I to her if I don't have money? And it's not just men feeling like this. A lot of women do reinforce this, because I've seen a lot of posts where some women are like, oh, if my husband isn't paying all the bills, and like, what do I have him for? I may as well have a roommate and this and that and this and that. And I'm just like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. Because first of all, my personal opinion is that y'all are married. So once you're married, it's like, to me, I feel like his money is y'all's money and your money is y'all's money. So all this conversation about him paying all the bills doesn't really make any sense to me at all. Because I'm like, why does it even matter? If y'all are married, you're a team, like, it's all the same as far as I'm concerned. Now, I haven't been married, So maybe I'll feel differently when I'm married. And I understand some people, not everybody merges finances, but at the end of the day, it's like, even if it's not in the same bank account, if something happens to one of you or y'all get split up, like, it's still considered to be like community property, right? So it's still y'all's money at the end of the day. So it's like, that's first of all. But the second thing is, to me, I'm like, there's a lot more to being in a relationship. Like I said, I haven't been married, but there's a lot more to being in a relationship than just money. Like, money is not the end all be all. Like, if you, the only value you're getting from your husband is him paying bills, like, is that really the type of relationship that you want to be in? If that's all that you're getting out of it? Or as a man, like, if the only thing that you have to offer is money, then maybe you should look in the mirror and you should figure out, like, okay, how can I be more valuable in other... Ooh, that's a lot of powder. Holy moly, did not mean to do that. And so it's like, it's very much both sides. And I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that. And it's like, we just end up in this weird situation. But basically what I was saying is that, back to the original topic, which is basically what I was saying, the gender role shouldn't exist. I do feel like in many cases, even after people sit down and they think, okay, what do I want from a partner? What do I bring from a partner? I think a lot of the time it is going to be traditional gender roles, but not 100% of the time. And if that's what you guys end up with, then that's great, because at that point you've really sat down and you've thought about what you want and why you want it, and how you guys can work together as a team, how you complement each other. Because, like, for me, for example, the traditional role of financial, like, that doesn't really apply to me. Like, I am an engineer, so I make a decent amount of money. And for that reason, I don't necessarily need to have a husband who's going to be like, oh, I'm going to pay all the bills, because I don't plan to quit my job and be a stay-at-home mother. Like, that's not something I plan to do. So it's like, I don't really look for that. Like, yes, I do want somebody who is stable financially, because at the end of the day, childbirth is dangerous and there's no telling what could happen if I get pregnant and, you know, have complications or whatever it may be. So it's like, I do require my potential husband to be financially stable and have the ability to support a family. But that's not necessarily something that I actually expect him to do, because I don't plan to quit my job. But at the same time, like, outside of that, I feel like I do generally align myself with traditional roles. In my life, like, I'm the oldest in my family. And for that reason, there's been a lot of responsibility put on me. And it's like, for me, when I think about it, people talk about a man being a leader and this and that. I have no problem with that. Some people may be surprised to hear that, and I just got mascara everywhere. But I have absolutely no problem with that. Because at the end of the day, like, being the leader is it's tiring. It's a huge responsibility. It's a lot of work. And I can't say that I want to take on that. Like, I do like the idea of somebody else kind of making sure that things get taken care of. But with that being said, I am not traditional in the sense that I'm going to sit back and let him just make all the decisions without consulting me, without taking my feelings under consideration. So it's like, yeah, if you want to be the leader, then be a leader. Be a good leader. Actually think about what's good for me and the family, and not just what's good for you. My face is pretty much done. I'm going to put my lashes on now, so I'm going to do that off camera and come back, because... Oh. Okay, I realized that I forgot to put blush on and highlight, so I'm doing that now. I already did the blush, but now highlight. But what I was saying is that, like, you know, it's a lot of responsibility to be the leader, and I feel like a lot of men don't really understand what that means. And so it's like, to me, I'm like, if that's what you want, like, I would appreciate being in a relationship where the man that I'm with is taking on that responsibility, because there are certain things I just don't want to have to worry about. But, you know, in addition to that, like, I don't mind cooking, I don't mind cleaning, I hate doing man chores like taking out trash and cutting grass and fixing things. I literally don't want to do it. So I'm like, if something goes wrong in our house, I would be more than happy to let my husband take care of it, or be the one to call the handyman, or whatever it may be, right? More than happy. But at the same time, I understand that how I feel is not necessarily how everybody else feels. And so it's like, even though I don't mind cooking, there may be other women who hate cooking, and there may be men who love cooking. And it's like, does it really make sense for the woman to cook just because, oh, she's the woman? And not only that, even though I don't mind cooking, I don't want to be doing 100% of the cooking, because like I said, I don't plan to quit my job. So if I'm not quitting my job, if I'm working and he's working, then why should I be doing all the cooking? Because honestly, tell you the truth, cooking is probably the thing that needs to be done the most frequently. Like, cleaning the house is not getting done every day. Cutting grass is not getting done every day. Those kinds of things are not getting done every day. Cooking, you have to eat every day. So either you make a huge quantity of food and eat it throughout the week, or you're going to be cooking throughout the week. So to me, like, it doesn't really make sense for that to be a 100% on one person task, unless that other person is really picking up a lot of the other things. But, you know, basically bottom line is, I don't believe gender roles should exist. The reason why I don't believe they should exist is because, one, everybody is different, and two, times are changing. I feel like people need to sit down and think about what they want, what type of partner they want, what type of relationship dynamics they want. That may align with traditional gender roles. It may not. If it does, great. That's great for you. If it doesn't, then still great. You found what works for you. And so that's pretty much how I feel on the topic. But yeah, so my face is pretty much done. The only thing left that I have to do for my face is my lips, which I have this lipstick. So I'm going to do, what do I want? I need a lip liner, but I don't know what lip liner I want to use. I'll probably use this one. This is NYX. This is, what is this? Club Hopper. It's kind of like a similar color to the lipstick, I think. We'll see. Okay, now we have, so this lipstick that they gave me is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Ultra Matte. And this is in the shade, what shade is this? I don't know. Oh, Jampacked. Can I open it? Oh, okay. Oh, wow, this is really dark. I am not really feeling this for today, but the lipstick feels nice. It feels really smooth. It feels, you know, it doesn't feel like it would be drying or anything like that. I don't know how it's gonna dry down, but I like the formula of it so far. It's just that this is giving very dark, which does not work for what I'm doing today. So I think what I'm going to do is, actually it might work if I put a gloss on top of it. I'll try that. Because I need to take a picture with this on so I can post it. So I think I'll do that for now. I'll just put a gloss on top of it. And let's see. Let's see. I feel like this would be really pretty for fall though. Like this is a very like fall color, but right now it's not fall. It's literally July. So, yeah, let's try the gloss. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know what you think down below about this lip color. Like, does it even go with my eyes? Does it go with summer? Like, I don't know. It definitely does not go with the outfit I'm about to put on. So I think what I may have to do is just take a picture in this and then change out the lipstick. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will pause. I'm going to take my hair out. I'm going to take my picture for this. And then I'll come back and I'll show y'all what lip I end up changing it to. Because I have another video to film. And I'm like, I don't really want to film that video like this. Or maybe it'll feel different after I take my hair out. We'll see. But yeah, I'll come back. Alright guys, I am back. I've taken my hair out. I've gotten dressed, got my necklace on, you know. And now that I've kind of completed the look, this lipstick color is kind of growing on me. It's definitely not the vibe that I was originally going for when I started the eye look, but I feel like it works. So I'm gonna stick with this for today. So overall, my thoughts, I did really like the eyeshadow. Like I said earlier, it was pretty pigmented. I didn't really feel like I had to like build a bunch of color. There was like some fallout, but it wasn't like an excessive amount, so pretty happy with that. I did like the formula of the lipstick. I would definitely wear this particular lipstick more in like the fall and the winter. For summer, I would have preferred a more like bright shade. That's just my personal preference, but of course that has nothing to do with the lipstick itself. The lipstick itself seems like a good lipstick, you know, so just depending on your personal preference. But yeah, that is it for today. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.